It's another beautiful evening. I don't know if I'm being feminine when I say beautiful. I know some people would like me to say handsome like Derek, but it is a good evening to all of us watching Church of Uganda Family TV. Welcome back from News at 8, and it is always important to leave a legacy. It's always important to leave something that people will always remember you for. That is why today the Church of the Province of Uganda has been remembering the works of the late Archbishop Dr. Ankoyoyo. So I welcome you back from that documentary that talks about his works, his efforts, the legacy he left. Even when he's no more, what he did is still speaking. Thank you so much. It is the reason we have this program, Ask the CEO. Ask the CEO is a program brought to you by Young and Flourishing Foundation. And remember, Young and Flourishing Foundation is built on 4 pillars. One of these pillars is money. We all need money. Everyone needs money. It's the reason we wake up early in the morning, go work, and go back home when we are tired. Why? Because we want to get money. But Young and Flourishing will teach you how to get this money, how to save it, and then they'll also guide you on how to invest this money. And then the other pillar is daring. You need to they open up your mind to various opportunities. And that is why this particular program, Ask the CEO, we bring here CEOs who share with us their success stories. Now, in sharing with us, they're opening up your mind to opportunities that you would be blind at. The third pillar is strategy. We all need plans. If you don't have a plan, you'll be in other people's plans. So as we are still in the early days of the year, it is important that you have a plan. You draw your plan, how you want to walk the journey of the 360 days that are left of this year. And the last pillar is mentorship. This is Ask the CEO, where we bring mentors. But Young and Flourishing also provides mentors. So we are grateful to Young and Flourishing for the time they have been part of Ask the CEO. And today, Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name to host this program, but also we have another CEO with us here. He is the proprietor of Sale Couriers. He is also the chairman of Sale Group of Companies, and he is an advocate, but also he's an ICT practitioner. Now you'll ask yourself, how does he manage to do all those things? Before you get the answers, he's right here with us to give us all the answers we need. Join me as we welcome the one, Mr. Kwesiga Ronald. Sir, you're most welcome. We are so grateful to share in your space this evening.
Thank you so much, Edwin. And it's an honor and privilege to be seated here and sharing my story. You talked about money. I don't know if I have the money. The opening remarks are quite very strong. I hope I can stand to the pace.
Sure. The fact that you are CEO, that is the first qualification for you to be part of this program. The fact that you're CEO, then you have a story to tell.
Definitely. You start from somewhere, so you always have something to share with people.
So we want to understand the life of Ronald before he's CEO, before he's an advocate, before he is an ICT practitioner. How does it all start up?
Okay, it's quite challenging how you structure it, but yes, I'm an ICT practitioner. Yeah. My first degree was in information technology in Makerere University, and thereafter I switched to law, and I did my 4 years of law school and then did my postgraduate in legal practice at the ALDC, and I started practicing law.
Now, this is where we want us to start from. Was this part of the dreams you had? Why did you even have to switch from ICT to law?
It's not something that you wake up and plan. My entire dream from the beginning was to be a soldier. I always wanted to be in the military.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why did you want to be in the military?
That had always been my deepest interest because of my family and the people that surround me. That was my greatest ambition. But like fate had it, I didn't go to military school. So I ended up going through normal elementary school and go to university. Then I started working. One thing led to another. Mm. By that time, when we graduated with ICT in Makerere, some of the skills we had were not the skills the graduates of today have.
Maybe before even we get to, among all the courses, why did you choose to go for ICT at that time?
Information technology age was very new and vibrant in the early stages of the 21st century, in the 2000s. It was it was a thing. We were not yet in the deeper age of smartphones, computers, and things like that. They were very new. So anyone who could operate a computer, I remember seeing people carrying laptops everywhere with bags, and so it was a trend. But most of all, my mother loved the course, so I opted to do it. Then I had my fair share of it. When I started practice, I noticed I was doing a lot of explanation than actually doing. So I noticed I was a bit misplaced. So I went back and did those.
So there's something you talked about that during those days, the skills that you graduated with are not the skills that graduates of today are having. What are those skills?
You see, by then, when you graduated from with the bachelor's in IT, we would do an all-round kind of course. You have a stint in programming, you have a stint in database management, you have a stint in hardware handling, software. It was a mixed, so you had to find ways of strengthening your skill in a particular line. Now, these are facts that you get to interact with and interface with after you're done with academics. Because now you're in the market and somebody's asking you about something, you need a deeper presentation of that thing. You need to deliver. But then the education has prepared you for passing exams, and you excel, and yes, you're out there. They don't tell you to spend an extra minute trying to digest and prepare yourself for the market. So when we got out in the market, we could not meet the market demands. What we could satisfy was quite below what the market expected. So it required going for further studies, the patience that I didn't have.
So where do you pick up the interest in joining law? Because you already have a degree, and people have already switched their minds to business. People are focusing now on getting jobs and doing a lot of things. Why do you choose to go back and take the 4 years?
It's the thirst for growth, but most importantly, in between the stage of trying to work and test the waters in the market, I interacted with, I happen to have got a transaction. And when you're from school, you tend to jump onto anything that comes your way. Somebody tells you there is an opportunity here, let's try it, let's try this, let's try this. So somewhere midway, we got a transaction with a very good friend of mine, and we were trying to sell a property. But then we had to interact with a lawyer. So the lawyer kept dragging the transaction, but everything depended on this lawyer to decide whether the transaction happens or doesn't. So out of frustration, I told my friend, you know what? Let the lawyer do anything he wants. As and when they are ready, we will close. But I thought to myself, okay, if this man is tossing us like this, how many more Ugandans are going through this kind of thing? So I resolved, and I decided, no, let me go back to law school. Let me try it. Let me see what is there, what is special with this whole kind of thing. So I decided to go back to law school. I did my 4 years, and after the 4 years, I now had to do LDC, which is one of the most dreadful things any lawyer can comment about. It's not something for the faint-hearted. It's something for the brave. You must be, it builds you. It's saying goes that if you can go through LDC, then you can face any situation, any course. So I went back and did the 4 years in the LDC, then I got to the market. But by the time I got to the market, I'd already started admiring a certain module of business conduct, setups of conglomerates, entities that are able to support and survive on their own. And a situation where you don't have to look for a client. The client is within the ecosystem. So I started thirsting to build a conglomerate. So I kept reading about models here and there. And then I came up with the idea, SAIL Global Corporation. And SAIL Global Corporation and the SAIL Group is hinged on the vision, tenacity, commitment, integrity, resilience of sailors. When a sailor is on a voyage, he doesn't see where he's going. He relies on a compass. He's in the middle of nowhere. But he keeps committed and hopeful that I will get the destination, keeps following the map. He's patient. He's patient. He keeps pushing on until he gets to the destination. So I looked at the world and the situation that surrounds us as the turbulent times that everyone goes through while looking for solutions. So I looked at SAIL Global as a vessel that could help people achieve their dreams, their desires, get solutions to all their problems at different levels. And we would be the ones to deliver them to the landing point. Okay. So we started SAIL Global with a mindset that we can sail the entire world with solutions. So in there, we decided to do technology, which was my background. So it was something now I could have like a carrot with ease. Then we also got to learn with my partners that you cannot do this thing. There are certain things you cannot do without separating them from the normal conglomerate structure. So we started disintegrating the whole piece and getting licenses for each structure, setting it up for proper tax compliance and everything, having proper corporate governance structures so that the business can run. That is how we come up with SAIL Courier, which is a courier company licensed by the UCC, and it has an online and then web platform. We also run a security firm. We also run, of course, technology. We build all the software that we use in the group ourselves. And we have created quite a lot of employment for various people. Then, of course, once you run an entity like that, you are live to a situation where you have a lot of content to create, to put out there. So the content that you create pushed us to create SAIL Media. So one thing kept leading to another and another and another and another, and that is how we have grown to this stage.
Okay. So looking at all this, do you still have time for legal practice?
Yes. I also run SAIL Advocates. I have my own law firm, and it's my bread and butter. It's my bread and butter. I'm always going to be a lawyer. I'm always going to be an advocate. Yes, the business is there. It helps to support the ecosystem, and the whole business really gets a lot of support from the law firm. And the law firm is assured of clients because these people have different challenges and they are within. So the law firm is able to survive as we also look for opportunities out there. Yes.
So you told us that one of the reasons as to why you chose to go back and study law. You wanted to create something different, basing following the disturbances that the other lawyer had taken you through. Is it one of the things that you see that you are achieving in the law firm, in sale advocates?
Yes. I am confident I am achieving it. I don't like wasting people's time. I love being meticulous. I am not the kind you will find dragging you left, right, center. If you say yes, no, and you move on, because I treat law as a business, really. It's a business. And I don't want to waste so much time on it. So I do what I have to do, then I go back to my business, my courier business that I know and really want to push out there in the world, because I believe it has so much potential. Like everyone can make money from it. The model that we have built is very powerful to help everyone earn a living. For example, today you came from home and reported to work. You only use your fuel or your transport fare straight to work. You did not benefit from that channel. The model that we are bringing is at every one point, anyone moving from point A to point B can earn from their movement, because there is always something moving from point A to point B. There are parcels moving at every one point. I'll give you an example. Assuming, I don't know where you stay, but wherever you stay, I'm very sure.
I stay in Kawempe.
You stay in Kawempe. There are people in Kawempe who wanted to move a letter or a small parcel or a box or something that was not very heavy, and you could have come with it to town. So, but these people didn't know that you're going to this destination. So we've created an interactive platform for people to know there is someone moving. This person can pick my parcel. This person will drop it at a specific agent's place. So you make money, the agent makes money. I reduce on the cost of courier of the other party, the sender. And the receiver will also get the parcel in time. Because for you, you're minding your schedule. You must be at office maybe at 8.
Yes.
So if it's at 8, you pick it from an agent in Kawempe or directly from the person in Kawempe, bring it to town, drop it at an agent's place, and you move to work. So directly you get someone on your phone. Wow. You're happy, home and dry. None of us is inconvenienced. You make money, the agent makes money, the customer is satisfied, we reduce the cost of running around and doing business, and all of us are happy. So that's something that I feel is a powerful tool that even a young graduate who is trying to look for a job, if he's coming from home and the parents give them 5,000 to survive in the day, at least they're assured they can save on the money they have used while getting on a taxi. The taxi takes you for 2,000 shillings. You're assured you can pick 1-2 parcels, go into your destination, drop them off, and then you have already recovered almost your 2,000, because there's nothing that moves for less than 2,000. It's very hard. There's no border that takes you for less than 2,000.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if there is any for less than that.
So
maybe
at least of the city.
Whoever is sending something is going to use either border, is going to use something, a taxi. So if you carry maybe 1-2 parcels that ordinarily would have charged 5,000, maybe you get yourself 4,000. The agent also makes off some money. Everyone in the value chain is happy, and we are all able to coexist and be happy.
So is this system already in existence, or you're still building it?
No. The system is already in existence. It has an app, both on Android and iOS. You can download it. There are 2 versions. There is one for someone placing an order, and then there is another one which permits you to register as a guest courier. So you as a person who wants to participate in the value chain, you're a guest courier. So as a guest courier, you fill in a small form, we validate that information, because we're going to deal with people's items. Yes. We don't want a scenario where they just disappear. So since you're dealing with people's items, You fill in a form, we capture that small information. After capturing it, we have it in our records. So we know person XY of this national ID, resident of this place, moved from point A to point B, picked something, took it here, and then in the wallet, you're able to get your money. And we are all happy. Home and dry, all of us are happy. We all make money.
So for the time it has been in existence, how long has this been?
We've taken quite some time trying to build the technology. It's taken us almost about 2 years. We officially rolled it out last year, and we are now piloting it. It's already working. We already have our own couriers that are able to pick and deliver for clients. And that's a team that is like the backbone of the entire ecosystem. So in the event there is no one to do the work, they are there to make the final delivery. So those ones are already in place. And then we are also onboarding guest couriers gradually. Yeah.
So meaning a guest courier is not permanently employed by your company?
It's not my employee. It's just like you. You're seated here, you're going to leave this place, and there's somebody who wants something to go to Kawempe. So as you go down the street, you can find an agent with items. You get notification on your phone that there are items going to Kawempe. You say how many kgs are they, depending on how much weight you can load and carry. If you have a big car, bingo. There are people who fly upcountry routes every now and then. And you find someone with a pickup, with a Land Cruiser, a huge van. It's only them and maybe 2 other people, one, and the rest of the space is empty. Of course, it's become a risk to carry fellow human beings because people have different motives.
Yeah.
But at least for parcels, if you get them from an agent who is already licensed and has been verified, pick the parcels, make some money. Don't burn all that fuel. We are in very trying times, economic trying times. So anything that adds a penny onto someone's table, I think should be highly embraced. And Sail Courier is now something that is coming in handy for each and every one.
Okay. Now we want to get to understand some of the challenges he has encountered. He has just told us about a deal. So if you're there, you're like me and Derek or Mumoza, don't waste your fuel, don't waste. There is a deal here he has just shared with us. And Ronald, before we get into the challenges and the strongholds of Sail Group of companies, you'll first of all tell someone who has just joined us how they can be part of the Sail Courier.
Okay, for one to be a part of Sail Courier, they will just have to download the app.
Is the app called Sail Courier?
Yeah, it's Sail Courier.
Okay.
So there are 2 interfaces. There is one which is for placing orders. It has a personal account and corporate account. So for the corporate account, we are looking at a scenario like an institution of this nature. You have orders that you want to send out, but then you are in a situation where you cannot make daily payments for all these items. So what you do, you open a corporate account, and then you place orders, and people will come, pick up, and then at the end of the month, they give you an invoice. But that invoice will just be a reflection of what you already have on your system, on your interface. Then for an individual, you just download the personal, fill a small form, and then you're live. You can place an order, and somebody will pick the items. As for those that want to be guest couriers, which is something I find the real deal, you just have, there is one that's called Sail Courier Admin. So you download that one, fill in the form, put your name, your email address if you have, a phone number, and then you upload your photo, your national ID number, and you upload. So you'll automatically create an account. Now that account, you'll always get notifications of the orders that are available within your environment where you are. It's not that you're in Kampala and you're getting orders in Gulu, no. That there's an order coming from point A to Gulu Main Street, but you're in Kampala, no. So
does this app monitors where I am? For instance, if currently I'm at Church House, does it notify you that the guest courier is at Church House?
Of course, with the new technology, every technology that we are developing right now is GPS powered. So the moment you open, it will just pin to your current location and then show you what is around that you can use it uses your location to show you what is around, the agents around you that have items or any orders that are set to be picked up. Yeah.
Now, in building this system and this technology, have you encountered any challenges?
Of course, the challenges are many. There are quite a number of challenges. First, you develop the business, the business model, and now you have to direct it to an acceptable market approach. That is when you start now facing the reality that, okay, now it's not about courier where we used to have like the post office, people are coming to you. No, you now have to go to the people. So how do you go to the people? Now you come to technology. When you get technology, developing technology is very expensive. The process of even coming up with a concept is also extremely hectic. Now then you come to development, the equipment used is also costly. Then getting the experts, the people who you can work with, a force that you can rely on to deliver the product is also costly, because you can't keep a brilliant, energetic young man or lady in a room with a promise that the future is bright. No, you can't. They don't have that patience. So you have to also be mindful. They have dreams, they have ambitions, they have goals. It takes quite a lot to get them to believe in you and also believe in the product. So before you even come to the market, you have the internal market that you have to deal with. People must appreciate what they are dealing with first. Then after appreciating it, you get to the development. Everyone can code. Yes, it's okay. You code and develop and everything is fine, home and dry. But then it must be something that is appealing. It's not about just putting something out there. The user interface, the interaction, all the things require research and design. All these are costs that you're dealing with at different levels. And then it takes a lot of time. Someday you do a prototype. You feel now this is ready. You subject it to pressure, penetration test, it crashes. You go back. So it's been a series of continuous work to get to this point. And it's very hectic. It requires a lot of tenacity, a lot of resilience, a lot of commitment. You must be ready for the hard shot. I see many young people saying, I have my company, I have my company. They say, you tell them, I want to give you an opportunity. They're like, no, I have my company here. I have my company, you should give me the work, subcontract me. Okay, it's not a bad thing. It's a good step a good stride on the journey of progress, development, career growth, and also financial stability. But its sustainability is a problem. Everyone wants to start a business, but business is not as light as it sounds if you must build it, because you must, I don't encourage anyone to just venture in for the sake. Be compliant. Compliancy is a very hectic line. You have to do taxes, you have to get licensing, you have to, everything is quite pricey. So it's been a very huge challenge. The cost, the capital is huge. And it discourages entrepreneurship, but that's the bitter truth. We cannot walk away from it. And as the world keeps evolving, the era of trying and error is also going away. We must be alive to it. And the work ethic of our people is terrible. Our people are not, they're not, I don't know how to call it, but most of the young people, their resilience, tenacity is very mild. So the human resource is also a huge problem. As you're trying to take a stride in this direction, somebody gives up and like, no, I'm done. You say, but you see, this is a good thing. It's going to head this way. No, I'm done. And you can't do anything. That's the way we are designed. At the moment, it's really affecting the job market. Every entrepreneur out there, every businessman will tell you, without a doubt, the human resource is a big problem to this country. It's a huge problem. When people are employed, they don't give things, they don't give work the very best. When they're coming in for a job, they plead hard. When they're in, they get comfortable, and they don't mind about the money that they are sitting on. They forget that that very day that they make an entry into that workplace, they start on a journey of their own growth and leaving a mark into the institution that they're working with. So I think those are some of the challenges, really. Capital, human resource, then of course the frustration, disappointment.
Yeah.
It has to be there. Yeah. Someday you think you're moving forward, and before you know it, things are going hayway. You get disappointed, so you have to gather yourself up and then face the day again. So it's not been an easy one.
So you're looking at someone out there who wants to be a CEO. They have their dream, and it is burning so much in them. They really want to pour it out. What are some of the things they should look back to in order to build sustainable farms? Yeah.
Okay. It is good to dream. It is a very good thing. It's a fine thing. Every man must dream. Everyone must have a vision. They must have a desire. It's a very good thing. And anyone without one really, I think, is lost. But the difference between that dream and realization, like the space between the two of them, those are two worlds apart. It's like crossing from one island to another. That's the Kampala, Uganda mainland, and Kalangala. Yes, it's an island, it's in Uganda, but in between there is another whole story. So for those that are out there, they really want to try out something, they want to build businesses. One, they must be ready for the hard shot. Number two, they must be courageous enough. Number three, they must prepare. Number four, they must prepare. I said preparation twice because preparation is in multiple stages. There's the mental preparation, there's the market preparation. And the market preparation, there's capital preparation. When you look at the story of Steve Jobs, all these other, Mark Zuckerberg and the others, they tell you they started from garages, they started from where. And I think that age is also going away, because there are very few things that we are reinventing. Or rather, we are inventing. So we are more or less just reinventing. Someone somewhere has done whatever you want to do. So for you to be on top of the game, you need a lot of research. Even when you come up with an idea, you must do a lot of research. It's just a small twist. Like Google has been the thing for the last so many years. Recently, in November last year, they launched Chat GPT. I know that you've tried to use it. It's a very fine technology, very nice. You're going to ask it any question, and it will give you the answer. You ask, you put in a code, and it highlights the bugs and even tells you how to fix them. So reinventing the wheel is not existing anymore. We are just trying to, we are not inventing, we are just reinventing, just improving a bit.
Modifying
modifying and
what has already
making
been
things better. It's just that, like that technology we've just talked about.
Yeah.
So for one who is coming in as a CEO, preparation, commitment, courage, resilience, they must be in one pack. Then they should be ready for capital. The capital push is quite important. The earlier companies were lucky to have the money. In Uganda, we still grapple with the situation of financing. In Europe, you come up with an idea, you walk into a venture capital firm, you tell them, this is what I'm thinking. And somebody listens in and says, okay, I'm in, I'll give you my money. And then you start. When you start, things, the dots connect, and then you're a billionaire the next day. But here, we still have a long way to go. We've not yet gotten that kind of opportunity. So anyone out there must really, really rethink before they come into the market. Because if you don't think and prepare well, the business will die in no time. And once you lose the first step in the journey, it's all gone. Getting back that image is an uphill task. And equally, you don't want to give mediocre services, which is Uganda's biggest problem. The ideas are good, they're flourishing, but because of the capital deficit, the preparation, all those other issues we've talked about, they end up giving bad service. When you give bad service, the market share shrinks. As it keeps shrinking, 5 years down the road, you're out of business. No one is believing in the brand. Problem is, you're never prepared.
So we now look at someone who wants to venture into courier business. Basing on what you've gone through, what you've seen, and some of the challenges that you've encountered, and which might be now the strongholds that you lean on now, and said, because we went through this is the reason where we are still standing. What advice do you give them? What should they prepare? How much capital do they need to invest in such a business?
At the beginning, you said money. Money is a tough one, but there is no definite capital that you can talk about that is really exact. No, there's no definite capital, but it depends on the vision that you have, the kind of business model that you're rolling out. UCC has been very instrumental. It avails all the information on the website, and they give support and all that. Before you start, they ask you to give them a business plan. They look at what you have and what unique value proposition you bring in the market. So they study that, and then they are able to consider whether to grant you a license or not. I see so many people trying to do delivery in the market. Yes, they are doing delivery, but the quality of service. Then do customers have a comfort that their items are insured? Many people, when items go missing, you call the office, come tomorrow, come the other day, come tomorrow, come the other day. It kills the business. It kills the business. So for anyone who is considering to come in the market, one, let them research massively. Then after researching, let them come up with a model that is distinct and can help, can create a change in the market. Then they roll. Then they should be able to train their manpower. Train and train and train. Of course, the disappointments are there. You train and people go, you do this, but you have to keep on them for as long as you want to give good service. Yeah, it's an open market. We are 45 million Ugandans. The global market is also very open. The courier market has close to about $380 billion worth, or even beyond at the moment, after the post-COVID situation changed greatly. So I think there is a lot of potential. It's about how well one structures their model and how well one prepares for the task ahead of them, and they can roll. I encourage entrepreneurship, but let it be quality. When you bring mediocre service, you kill the entire industry. Everyone looks at the participants in the industry as unworthy. Yeah.
So as we almost get closer to the end of this particular show, what advice do you have? Because I see one of the biggest challenges that you were highlighting is human resource, and this human resource is attributed to lack of focus. Mm-hmm. When we are applying for jobs, we are so desperate that we agree to whatever terms they tell us, and then when we get these jobs, we become so comfortable and we forget about the promises we made to our bosses. So what advice do you have to such people who are like that their productivity levels are very low, they can't even reach the expectations of their bosses even before they start up their own companies? Their productivity in other people's companies is very low because of lack of focus.
Honestly, if you can't put a mark or create a mark in the entity that you're working for, you cannot create a mark in your own business. You cannot. I see a number of people say or do things like, I'm working for this company, let me do what I can do. As soon as I have some share or a reasonable portion of resources, I run away and then start something of my own or compete with this person or create a market war. And I think it's very bad, and it's a sign of immaturity, and it's an early warning of failure. You need to build your own enterprise on your own. When you're getting a job, you're there to deliver a service. Do your best. Do your best. Do your part. And when the time is right, because there is a perfect timing. There's always a perfect timing for each and everyone and for every situation. When the time is right, you will start what you want. If you look at the biggest, the conglomerates that we admire, the people who run them currently are who are the presidents or chairpersons or MDs or CEOs. They are not the owners of the business. They have just gone through the ranks. They will also get to a point to retire. Others will take over. I mean, it becomes a continuous process. So for me, my advice would be to the young people out there, that small job that you're doing, or you think you're doing a favor to your employer, value it, because this person has created an opportunity which you could not give him. So give it your best, do your part, and when the time is right, resign, go and try your part, and live in peace, because this world is, we're on a journey. We will always meet one another. You never know when you need this person. You need a referee, you need a referral, we have a number of business networking organizations. So you're going to meet this person and then you did something the other day, how are you going to face this person? You know? I've worked with other entities before. I still talk to all my people that I worked with. We talk freely. I don't have any problem with them. So my appeal to the young people, There's a time for each and everything. It's not a race. You're not competing with anyone. And if someone gives you an opportunity, embrace it. Give it your best. Do your part. Get your share. When the time is right, you move on. You don't need to give mediocre service and keep disorganizing everyone. No, you don't need to. Like they say, God's timing is His timing. His timing for you will come. And when it comes, you're unstoppable. That's my advice to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronald. We are so grateful. So we were with Ronald Kwesiga, who is the proprietor of Sail Courier, but he's also the chairman of Sail Group of Companies. He's an advocate, he's an ICT practitioner, he's an investment advisor, and I believe he has advised you well. Now, I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for having been part of the 10 months journey of Ask the CEO. So, I will appreciate all of you. I'll appreciate the feedback. I'll appreciate each and everybody that has been part of this program. You, the viewer, the guests, thank you so much, and the entire management of Church of Uganda Family TV. Now, I want to bring to your notice that this is the very last Ask the CEO program that we are having. Tentatively, we are taking a break, and with time we shall be back with Ask the CEO. However, Young and Flourishing is still part of Flourishing Hub. So every Monday at 9 a.m. you'll always be watching, 9 p.m. you'll always be watching Flourishing Hub. But as for Ask the CEO, we want to say thank you so much for having been part of the journey until we come back. But as for Ask the CEO, we shall say we shall miss you, but goodbye.